This is the Acro mod a whole bunch of people have been super excited for. Let me just give myself some marks. I'm gonna go in here, get all the abilities. It's got a headbutt attack. Stack of 8% damage mitigation. Each stack will last 8 seconds unless you stack it again. Otherwise it expires. Maximum amount of stacks you can have is 5, which means 40% damage reduction. So it's a stacking damage reduction buff. Interesting. 30% more bleed and 5% speed increase. Armor's increased by 5%, bleed and venom resistance increased by 35%, and 30% less knockback. Marauder. Your stamina regen rate is increased by 20%, damage increased by 5%, and bone break heal increased by 30% when not in a group. These are all pretty cool. Speed increase is quite nice. It's got blood sever and stamina sever for arms. Ooh. Lash out with your claws. The opponent's tendons to deal damage and tire them out. Applying to them a stack debuffing for stamina sever. Stamina sever drains your opponent's stamina pool by 10% in the last 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times for a max of 50% at full stacks. That is crazy. Just had a rapid hit. You got a sushi penguin. Awesome. It's great to hear that you got sushi. How's the sushi though? You got blood sever. Lash out with your hook-like claws. Your opponent's hide to do damage that applies bleed to your target to bleed them out. Enemies that are applied with a stack of blood sever. Blood sever applies a 6% bleed debuff. Makes your opponent more susceptible to bleed for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Interesting, interesting. Just the 2 base diets here. I'm glad that your sushi's good. Hides. This thing has a lot of different abilities. Texas Ranger, adrenaline through the roof, increase your armor by 10%, increase bone break resistance by 10%, releases your inner Chuck Norris. Funny. High Spine Standard, for the Tiger of the Cretaceous, increase bleed on your attacks by 5%, increase your attack damage by 5%, Sauropod Slayer. High Prey Drive grants you 6% attack damage and makes you 20% more resistant to knockback. Resilient Scales. Thick scales grant you 30% bleed and venom resistance. Oklahoma Strider. Your agile legs increase your acceleration by 10% and your stamina pool by 10%. Ooh. Strong Lungs. Your advanced theropod lungs grant you 10% more stamina and 8% faster stamina regen. Dense Bones. Your resilient body frame grants you 15% bone break resistance. Additionally, your strong will to survive grants you 10% slower food drain. Face starvation less often. Interesting. Convalescence, I think that is, yeah. Your quick to recover body lets you go 20% faster in out of combat. Unless we got some pretty cool ones in here. I like mobility. And health recovery is pretty cool. Frenzy. Stomp 3 times in a row to onslaught enemies nearby, dealing AoE with each stomp. These AoE radiuses do lower damage. Additionally, each stomp deals a stacking debuff that slows your opponent down on each successful hit by 2.5%, stacking up to 6 times total. This slowing debuff lasts for 25 seconds and cannot be used when you are bone broken. Parry. Shove your mighty body forward to act as a block, mitigating incoming damage. While doing this, you additionally gain immunity to incoming grabs, pounces, bone break, bleed, and venom during the duration of the parry. Low amounts of damage and knockback applied to the enemy. Cannot be used when you are already bone broken. Oh, that's neat. Balanced. 10% turn radius. Swing your heavy-tailed attackers from behind and deal medium damage. Swing your swift body plans grant you a 5% speed boost. Okay. It's got 3 calls. Quarterback's Quarry. Lets you get ready to rumble. Ready yourself up for combat and channel your roar. While channeling, you gain 25% damage mitigation. After channeling, you will then gain a debuff that reduces your cooldowns, or a buff that decreases your cooldowns for the next 30 seconds after casting this roar. Roar of the Elders. Raise your head high to the heavens and bellow the roar of your ancestors to increase the speed of all members in your group by 6% for 30 seconds and stacks twice. You must be grouped to use this ability. And welcome to Carnage. Let there be carnage. Increase the bleed of all Acrocanthosaurus in your group by 18% for 60 seconds. That's a big bleed boost. Just applying the abilities. Of course, there's a bunch of students. I don't think this one's supposed to be free, but it is. Event Horizon Everglades. Gangplank Gallios. Gila Monster. Loon. Ossifrage. Plains. Sunset Hunter. Water Dragon. Quagga. Ocelot. Urutu. Champion. Gilded. Adirondack. Leucistic. Melanistic. Desert Coast, and Spirit. Pretty wide range of skins. Ooh, there's a whole big stretch when standing up. Baseline bite. Tail slap. Headbutt. Little arm hat. I thought that would be a little arm thing. That's a whole bite. And we got the parry and the big roar. Did the little chicken arm movement. That's funny. Okay, so we got a whole bunch of emotes and calls. There's the broadcast. Here's friendly. Here's aggressive. The original quack. Yes, very much so. That's danger. And that's just generic. We got shaky shake. We also got whatever this is. We got this. Looks like it's looking around. I don't think most of its emotes have sound, but this mod has also been in the works for a long time. This is definitely asleep. Or not. Just a yawn. I think that's supposed to be like a recording thing. I bet it was supposed to be pooping. Honestly, with this one, I wouldn't be surprised. That was my kind of idea. Well, that's a group call. Oh, it has a unique icon for that, okay. Of the silly little arms. Yeah. Slow walk. Trot. Crouch. Crouch isn't even sliding much. Usually they slide a lot when they crouch. And goofy run. Absolutely hilarious run. It actually has a lot of stamina. I wasn't expecting that. Simple little headbutt. Now I do want to see that stomp attack. I want to check the other claws. Okay, I can check another roar too to see if they have different animations. I can't do the last roar because I'm in single player right now, and I usually don't do group stuff very often, but I can check these real quick. Right. Pow, pow. It's like a boxer, punch, punch. And that's a big stomp. Then we got this roar. It does sound different, okay. Little headbutt. Alright. I can check the drinking animation here. It's a little bit wonky because of the reeds, but not bad. Okay, so that big stomp takes a lot of stamina and does animation lock you, but you don't have to stop to use it like you do for most of the other stomps. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's Absentia's Acro. We got 3 more to go. Got Kaprosuchus. Kaprosuchus is a weird crocodilian. It's not even a true crocodile. It was nicknamed the boar croc because it has big tusk-like teeth that look like the tusk of a boar. Yeah. We got the walk, which is just your average crocodilian high walk, which looks really good. You got trot, which is a full-on gallop, and then you got the sprint. That's impoofable. Not that surprising. It's pretty cool. It can jump. I wasn't expecting that. Rest and sleep. Add some marks. Cannot speak today. Let's do that. Alright, so sharp tusk. 20% reduced damage from hits to your head and increases your damage by 5%. That's a nice passive. Dual chop. A double attack that increases power with each hit. Armor pressure. Charge up the attack to inflict armor-piercing damage based on how long it's held. That's helpful. Tearing Force. An attack that causes moderate damage and reduces enemy armor by 5% for 7 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Can be used for grabbing prey. And Bite. Let's see, let's test these out. Oh, these icons. I can't. Increase acceleration when swimming by 50%. Increase visibility when underwater. Increase max oxygen by 25% and grant the ability to feed on mushrooms for biologist. Because a crocodile is a biologist. Fantastic. Geologist. Increase jump height by 25%, drop speed by 15%, and reduce thirst depletion by 40%. Senses. Crocodilian Cacophony. Increase self and team's armor by 1.5% for 25%, for 25 seconds every time you are hit by an attack. That's interesting. Case Plank. They're just... The names of these are so memeable, and I love it. Because these two are clearly referencing Donkey Kong Country. Increase self and team's damage by 1% for 20 seconds every time you hit by an attack, so that's up to 10 times. Crocodilian Cacophony is better, just straight up. I think that one of them is meant to have a different effect. Webbed feet, increase swim speed, and firm grip, increase turning radius. Hyper carnivore and generalist can eat various fruit, meat, insects, and fish. You can eat a lot with that. Midnight Creeper. Increase speed by 10% and health recovery by 15% during the night. Sun Drought Scales. Increase armor by 10% and stamina recovery by 15% during the day. Streamlined, increase swimming speed. Webbed boost, increase mobility and maneuverability by 15% when you're wet. Leap, increase jump height, increases stamina spent while jumping. Backbling. Leaping bite, interesting. Leaps forward and deals minor armor piercing damage. Upon successful activation, you grab the opponent. You don't have used inland. And Trough Rush. Charge forward in a line, causing damage to anything you hit. Restore stamina on a hit, and you can only have use on land. Breach and Lunge. Oh, it doesn't have a tail attack, instead it has aquatic abilities. Activate for a quick forward burst speed. It can only be used while swimming. Upon activation, grants 15% damage buff for 4 seconds, and can be chained with attacks. Dash forward in order to escape or ambush, deals impact damage and moderate knockback, but can't be used with other attacks. It can only be used while diving. Finest attack. Even more Donkey Kong Country references. Increase speed by 2% per use, able to stack up to 5 times. Coming aboard. A call that during the day increases all party members' armor by 10% within 30 meters for a minute. During the night, increases all party members' damage by 10% within 30 meters for 1 minute. And you must be online to use it. It's pretty cool. Leaping bike. I just love the variety that this little guy has in his abilities. So, Cuvier, Cuban. Oh, so this one might be based off. I don't know what this one is based off of entirely, but speculation for me says Cell from Dragon Ball Z. Cuvier is a type of caiman. Cuban is a crocodilian, primal. That's something else. Horse hide. Dwarf, probably based on the dwarf caiman. Albino and melanistic. Western, probably based on a certain species of crocodilian. I forget which though. Tegu is based on the Tegu. Netaretti. Interesting. Pyrea. Or Pyara. Pyrea. Hog Rider. Hog Rider! Snokia. Monitor. And Gator. It's got some pretty cool skins. Alright, I do have the full water speed build on for this guy right now, so let's see how fast this gives him a speed boost. Ooh. Ooh. That's a good swim. Quite the fast little bugger. Ooh, it turns good too. Ooh, this water mobility is nice. And that was a good leap out of the water. With a little chomp. That's right, this is a charge attack. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Oh, you can full on lunge while sprinting, awesome. And that was not you look at the double chomp. Oh, say, as someone that has always loved Sarko for a long time in this game, having a charge attack on another crocodilian is so cool. It's not official, but I mean, having a charge attack just in general is so fun because it's not mindlessly clicking like this. You actually have to aim and time your hit, which feels a lot more rewarding to land, especially for the damage boost. And you can jump while using it too, which is great. This thing I feel could be an absolute menace in the right hands. It's got the water mobility of Megalania. It's got pretty low land speed, but it's bulky, it seems anyway, based on its abilities. And you can do this. Yes, penguin. A full-on menace this little crocodile can be. Chomp chomp. It's still got more abilities to test out, but I haven't tested the calls yet. And I can change the stuff. No more fog. Go away. Bad game. Okay. So. Ooh, full-on crocodilian over there. I never tested out its special call. Ooh, menacing little chomp. I like that. Friendly. Fitting. Aggressive. Sounds like a demon. Also sounds like a demon for the danger one. And then generic is just chill. Boing, boing, boing. Shake. It's a happy gator. Very happy. And whatever this is. Full on I am angry mode. Right, this thing has a lot of abilities. So, legs can test out the leap jump boost, can test out croc rush, test out lunge. Those don't change much. These don't change much overall. These are the same. Can test out the normal bite and tearing force. And I can't test anything else because it's either group exclusive or is combat exclusive, which I can't test in a single player world, but just the normal bite. And that's like a ripping bite. We've got the super dash. That's the charge right there. Boing. Pretty cool. Let's see, new jump height. It is a little bit higher, but I think you're probably going to want to run webbed feet on this thing. Ooh, that charge has a high stamina cost to activate it. Yeah. I like Armor Crusher, and an attack that increases causes moderate damage and reduces enemy armor. Use will grab and prey. So this one's good if you're going for a grab build. Honestly, I don't think any of its bites are bad, or any of its head slot abilities are bad. I'm just someone that prefers something like Armor Crusher, because I'm used to Sarko using its whole deal. Probably gonna keep the leaping bite. Can only be used for swimming. 15% damage buff. Probably keep lunge actually. Yeah, that's the Capra. Chomp. Yep. Bonk. Right into the tree. I don't know if this thing has a crouch or not. It might. It does not. Okay. Just like Sarko, it doesn't have a crouch. I think it might be partially based on Sarko's rig. Bonk. Yep. Oh, you can't launch out. You can't launch out of the water with that one, but you still got that speed boost. Yeah, that drinking animation. This thing needs a lot of food for a semi-aquatic, because usually they have very fast water drain. But it seems like this little bugger drains its hunger really fast and its water really slow. This is a pretty simple drinking animation. That is a really fast lunge too. That lunge is scary. I don't know how big this thing is, because I don't know its base stats, but this thing could potentially destroy other small aquatics really easily, and can definitely take out the tiny dinos like Deinonychus and Latinovenatrix. And a pack of these would be terrifying because they have so many pack buffs. They turn pretty good too. Alright, that's it for Capro. We got 2 more. Dryptosaurus is this one. This is from DocJay. They made a couple fantasy creatures before they made this thing. They made the Madrihorn, which is a giant elephant. They made the Morqua, which is a giant hawk of some kind, and they made the Gulgor, which is an ankylosaur and a Wolverine kind of fusion. A pretty decent trot, actually. Nice walk, too. This one looks a little bit goofy, but it's not bad. And it can jump. That was the broadcast. We snap right into a little idle animation. That's neat. Yeah. Broadcast. It reminds me a lot of my app from Primordial Tyrants with the whole in-breath. Like that little clicking. And then friendly. That's just a straight up hyena. And that also reminds me a lot of Primordial Tyrants in my app. That's just angry. And we've got a budge snap. It's danger. Definitely sounds spooked. Generic is very clicky. And we've got the look around. This might go for a while. Didn't go for as long as I thought, then whatever this is. Oh no. That is going to be spammed to all hell on every server that has this thing. It straight up laughs. That is great. It's got a good fall resistance. It's a stinky dino and a menace. Hey Demonic, how are you doing? Did you hear the cursed laugh? Okay, it has the same pain sound as Elio. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. You just got out of bed. Nice. It's good to hear that you're doing good. Ooh. That's a nice bite sound. That's the sleep. Just trying to add some abilities. Headbutt. Use head to cause medium damage, but high bleed. And I got different totems from DocJay made this mod, and they use totems instead of passive abilities. Ancient Warriors gain strength but take more damage, plus attack minus defense. Shaman is plus defense minus speed, and Hunter is plus speed minus attack. Sharpened Skills, this sense increases the bleed on all bleed-based abilities. And Messetter Enhanced. The sense ability allows bite-based abilities to cause bone break. Huh, interesting. Claw Slash, use your claws to cause medium damage and low bleed. And Charged Claw Slash. The longer held, the longer the attack's 33% is 1 slash, 66% is 2, and a full charge is 3 slashes. Does high damage and high bleed. Survivalist. Eat meat, bones, roots, fruit, and insects, but increase thirst drain. Pescatarian. Fish and shellfish, but increases hunger drain and hypercarnivore is just meat. Resilient. Increase bleed and venom resistance. Dense fur. Increase armor, but decrease food by 10%. And then tail attack. And of course, this thing has a couple skins. Autumn. It'll stop scratching its face. I actually like that. Spotted Hyena, Honey Badger, Clouded Leopard, Timber, Rang, and Snowy. Very cool. I keep having to change the damn weather. Sorry if you hear any honey badger don't give a fuck. Honey badger don't give a fuck. Yeah, honey badgers are pretty crazy. I'm sorry if you hear any loud banging or anything like that. I got a tortoise and she is active and causes a lot of noise sometimes. Tail slap. It's a simple little tail slap. Bite. Headbutt. And the charged claw. This dino is just a cat. Honestly, I can see it. Terrifying. And here we have the Xiphactinus, which is a giant fish. I don't know how this thing is set up, but it seems very stiff. Even the tail doesn't move. Okay, when you're sprinting, the tail moves. When you're just swimming, the tail doesn't. Simple bite. Yes, penguin. Fish. I'm not convinced that this thing's asleep, but okay. It's just dead. Oh, I don't have any marks, that's right. Tearing bite, shredding bite that inflicts bleed, but deals less damage, and bite is a quick bite attack. Senses Sanguine Hunter. Take and deal 25% more damage when within 15 meters of another bleeding creature. Lone Survivor Mentality. 10% armor increase and increased maneuverability when not in a group. And Agility Mentality. Increase swim acceleration speed by 1% and stamina recovery rate by 2.5% for each Xiphactinus in the group, and stacks up to 5 times. Sanguine Hunter is interesting because you take and deal 25% more damage, which means that you can hit hard, but you can also get absolutely balked if you aren't careful. Fisher, eat meat and fish, moderate food drain. C4 scavenger, eat fish, shellfish, carrion, and bones, fast food, and water drain. Neat. Glassfish cannon, yes. That honestly does make sense for Xiphactinus, though, because Xiphactinus is a giant fish. It is, I think, 10 feet long in most of the specimens, and most of what they did was they would just swim up to a smaller species of fish, or like a bird or something, catch it in their jaws and swallow it whole. And there are actual fossils of them dying from eating too big prey items, where they eat something, it gets stuck, or it's just straight up too big compared to them and they die. 10-foot fish, imagine the sushi, yeah. This thing is kind of interesting. I think its closest relative is the tarpon, and Xiphactinus, even though it didn't live in Florida like tarpon usually do. It lived in the western interior seaway, which divided North America for most of the Cretaceous period. Streamline, increased movement speed by 10% and decreased armor by 10%. Rough streets, 10% in armor buff, but decreased movement speed by 10%. For those, tail. Flash is just a dazzle the closest creature to you, slowing them down within a small radius for a brief duration. Lunge forward in the water. And then voice is nothing. Okay. And then flash. It's got a couple stands: Reaper, Cod, Bluefin, which is based on the Bluefin tuna most likely. Essex. It looks kind of like it's based on a largemouth bass to me. Mimic. Don't know why that's called Mimic. Pardus. Oster. Trout. And Starred. Okay, let's see. So, normal bite. Ripping bite. That's a full-on jab. We got a little flash thing. That is a pretty good... That lunge looks a lot longer than it is. Let me go over toward these rocks. This is the perfect place to gauge where... or how far these go, because you can gauge it between rocks. So let's do this lunge. It's not bad. It seems to be about standard, but it looks longer because this thing juts forward so much in the animation. I wonder if I can leave the water with the lunge and leap. Yes, it can. Okay, does this thing have calls? Yes, it does. Oh, what a lovely sound. Dolphin. Fish jump into your mouth. Yeet. I thought that it was a lot stiffer in its in the trailer for it because it was shown kind of swimming like this basically, as opposed to someone swimming like even remotely fast with it. Can it jump that island? Probably not, but it'd be funny to just impact the island and either bounce off or get stuck up there. You really have to leave the water quick to you know, launch. You get a little bit of distance away. And here we go. Bonk. I definitely can't jump the island, but it's a good jumper. It also sounds exactly like a dolphin. Yeah, that's it for the mod showcase for these 4 new ones. I'll see if I can find a server that has some of these. Things might be a little bit loud because, frankly, there's a lot of people. I'm just unlocking stuff quickly. There we go. Which one is this that I'm looking for? Alright. I'm not gonna worry about the skins. I love how bouncy this thing is. It's so great. Boing, boing, boing. The Capros don't even have to be near you. In your group, they just have to be near you for the buff, I think. Here's something. This will only be for a short time. I want to test out how a couple of them do in combat. And let the Acro stand up. If you attack them when they're laying down, they can't fight back and they take more damage. That range on that bite is surprisingly good. Ooh, that hurt. Don't know how bulky the Acro is. Or how strong he is in general. Ooh, that's a good turn. Alright. I assume that Acro hits pretty hard, but I also don't think Capra is that heavy. So I'm going to test against something smaller. Or something more familiar with me. It's not got bad stamina to regen. Let's see. Don't see anything over there. Let's try the Styrac if they'll let me. So Capro is pretty squishy. It's not good bleed resistance though, because that Styrac usually does twice that bleed. There we go. Okay, Capro's not super well tested, but I don't need it super well tested. Just do the default Acro. Acro is definitely going to be very strong. I do have to wait for marks again. It really is taking a minute. There we go. Headbutt. Let's see, damage, bone break healing. Just unlocking everything, as you do. All these hides are very expensive. Increase damage. Frenzy is the stomp, parry is this. Alright, just gonna unlock all these, test it really quick. I'm not sure if this server has Drypto on it or not. I know that it has the other three for sure. It takes a long time to stand up, god damn. There's something coming, I just gotta... I kinda wanna fight something that's not an Acro if I can, just to gauge how strong this thing is. Alright, let's see. Whole lot of Acros over here. This Stego, that should be a good one. I can get away from all of them. See if I can get the Stego to fight me. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, it's hard to land all three of those, but you can definitely land one. I definitely didn't fight this on good terms, but I did okay damage to this Stego. Acro definitely seems like a glass cannon.